Good morning, everybody. Today is the day we're going to start to make some maple syrup. We're going to show you the setup we have, so let's get started. So this is where we boil our sap down. We have our fire pit set up. We're going to set that up. We're going to get a fire going, and then we'll start collecting our sap. So now it's time to go collect some sap. So we have about 15 gallons so far. We still got a few more buckets to check, but this is enough to get started. So let's get this up to the fire. So these are the pans that we're going to use. They hold probably about 5 gallons each. And we're going to place them in between the fire bricks on here, and then we're going to keep the fire going. It'll probably take us about 4 hours or so, depending on how much sap we finally get. So we have all our buckets emptied. We end up with about 20 gallons of maple sap, so that'll probably give us about 40 ounces of syrup. We're going to get our bricks placed in the front to hold the heat in. Now it's just a matter of keeping the fire going and getting this to boil. So it's been a crazy year. We've had temperatures up in the 50s, which is not normal for this time of February. It has been going below freezing during the night, which is what you want. You get your best sap production when it's below freezing at night and above freezing during the day. And we are boiling. Not so much on this side yet. So now that this is boiling, we're going to slowly add some more of our sap. It'll probably take us a couple of hours to get the rest of our sap added to this. Okay, so we're going to add the last of our last bucket. Okay, that's all of our sap for today. We just got to reduce all this down. So we're about halfway through this part. Once it gets down low enough, we'll empty one pan into the other one, and then we'll finish it up in the house. So there's a lot of waiting that goes on while we make syrup, so I thought I'd show you a few other things around the farm. We had a project that we did just the other day. We put a new planting bed in here. We're going to go some black oil sunflowers in there to make sunflower oil. We have a second bed up by our barn up here that we also are going to grow some black oil sunflowers in. We've got our high tunnel back here, which we will get ready to start planting that in a couple weeks. We usually at the beginning of March we'll start planting some potatoes, peas, lettuce, things of that nature in there. These are our rainwater tanks here. We do collect rainwater from our roof. We have a metal roof on the house which we put on specifically for the purpose of collecting rainwater. So those tanks right now are not in use. We bypass that in the winter time so they don't freeze, and in a couple months we'll turn that back on, so we will start collecting water for the growing season. And these are our egg layers. Good morning, ladies. Well, they got a couple presents for us this morning. So you can see it now, it's really starting to take on a really nice amber color. bit, we'll transfer it all into one pan. So we're at the point now where we're going to move this all into one pan. So now we're going to dump our pan into our pot for the stove. We're going to sift it through some cheesecloth and a fine mesh strainer just to get some of the heavy stuff out. And then we're going to finish it up in the house. Okay, so this is what we've got. So we have our syrup boiling down on the stove. We're looking for a temperature of 7.5 degrees above the boiling point, so we're looking to get about 219.5. We're right around 216 right now. It can take a little while sometimes to get to that final temperature. You just got to get that little bit of extra water boiled off. Once we're done temperature wise, we'll move over to here, and we have our pre-filter and our filter set up. We will put the jar down at the bottom here, and we will filter our syrup through that to remove any of the niter. So we've reached our temperature. Depending on how much we're doing, sometimes we have to replace the filter because they will clog. We're still running okay. So we are filling our last jar. We ended up with just about 3 pints. There's still some in that filter there, so that jar will be pretty close to full. So just as we expected from our 20 gallons of sap, we were going to get 3 pints of syrup. So this is how we make our syrup. It took us about 7 hours today to make these 3 pints of syrup, so it's definitely a labor of love, but we do enjoy doing it. It's not something you have to be on top of every minute, so you can do some other things while it's boiling down. We'll be doing this for probably another 3 to 4 times this year, so we should end up with a decent amount of syrup to last us through the winter. We will turn some of this into maple sugar also. So until next time, we hope all your days are sunny side up.